Let me start by saying that if you're here for flashy video or special effects or something like that, then you may want to check for something else on YouTube. If you're here for information, then welcome, and let's get started. Let's go into why I believe that the current visit by Pope Benedict XVI is a precursor to the largest false flag terror attack in world history. I guess first of all, people would be saying, why do we expect another large false flag terrorist attack? I would say that, if you look at the list of notable people who are joining the masses and calling for truth and justice regarding the New World Order op known as 9/11, it's growing daily. People are being added to the ranks like Jesse Ventura, the former German defense minister Andres von Bülow, father of Reaganomics Paul Craig Roberts, even officials who were part of the George W. Bush administration, high-ranking former CIA officials, and the list goes on and on. It's growing day by day, and people are becoming more vocal. And I think that that those in this administration and the other rogue elements in the government and the military-industrial complex are getting really worried. I think that they know that their days are numbered, and the calls for a new investigation are frankly scaring them to death, and also putting in jeopardy their plan for what I think they're calling now the global market state. So I think that this has to be done out of necessity, and I think that they're going to fix some problems with the 9/11 attacks. They obviously didn't get what they wanted out of those attacks, and I think that they're really going to pull out all the stops this time. I think if we look back at the 9/11 attacks, we can see the buildup prior to the attacks, and how the news media and the government were prepping us, or fattening us up, if you will, getting us ready to be steered in the right direction, or what they consider the right direction. Now, unfortunately for them, fortunately for us, the American people started to resist some of these plans, and basically this was a play for global domination. I think they really believed that the public would be more enraged than they were more united and going into Iraq, and I think that they weren't betting on. I think they really believed that we were going to be greeted with flowers. So it's fallen apart, and I think they've realized now that the Muslim world is not going to jump on board. That it's not going to be as easy as they thought. So I think they're going to plan B, which would be genocide and total war, likes of which we've never seen, even in World War I and World War II. But they need a way to motivate the masses, to get them to go into this genocidal rage that would be required for us to unleash nuclear terror on civilian populations in other countries, and to turn in the dissenters and friends and neighbors and family members to a new Gestapo here at home. The war has to appear just, and the people must feel that they were attacked while they were calling for peace. Okay, we have to be totally blameless in this next attack. That's what's going to motivate us, is our desire for peace, and being slapped in the face right at the time when we're calling for it. Okay, and the people must be made to believe that the enemy wants nothing less than our complete and total obliteration. I mean, they want to destroy our culture, our way of life, but most of all, they want to destroy our religion. And that's why I think that this papal visit is important and is a key factor. Now, a religiously motivated war is going to serve their purposes, because it can divide the world basically into two camps for the most part. And the great thing about this is that they can make this war appear to be, and this is, Marx said that religion is the opiate of the people, and there's no greater motivator when you've got a bunch of opium addicts. So I think what's going to happen is, they're going to market this war as something that's forced upon us, and it must appear. The important thing here is this war has to appear that it's sanctioned by God, and that it's foretold by prophecy. And we've seen this. We've seen the administration working this strategy before with the fundamentalists, the evangelicals on the right, pushing the agenda with Israel and making them believe that these end time events are coming about, and that the Battle of Armageddon's coming, and that the leader of Iran is the Antichrist. I mean, they've been pounding this drum for a long time. But what they really need is they need a way to bring in everybody, not just the evangelicals, okay? Not just the Protestant evangelicals. They need to bring in the entire Christian world. They need to make sure that Europe doesn't oppose this. They need to find a way to bring everybody together, and I think that they've got. What's really interesting is that the news media, they just keep putting out these small pieces of information, these pieces of the puzzle that are all coming together, and they're going to be there staring us in the face after this takes place, so that they can reference it and say, okay, see, there you go. They're already ramping up the fear and getting their info war in place. If you go to Catholic Online, news story from the 1st of this month, 1st of April, Vatican says world has greater number of Muslims than Catholics. Okay, it says Vatican officials said that for the first time the world's Muslim population is greater than the number of Catholics. Okay, so there's a scare factor, but then they go on to say, and they give us an out. All right. It says, according to statistics at the end of 2006, Muslims now represent 19.2% of the world population, while Catholics represent 17.4%. Okay. It goes on to say the spokesman noted that if other Christian denominations are taken into consideration, the global Christian population is about 33% of the total, still far greater than the Muslim population. So they're already setting this up. All right, they're already saying, see, if we all band together, the Muslims are no match. We can take them out. We've got nothing to fear if we band together. Okay, let's look at the Pope's itineraries. First, going to Washington, D.C. After that, and meeting with the President. After that, he'll be going to the United Nations, speaking to them. And finally, before heading back, he will travel to Ground Zero in New York. First of all, the presidential visit. He was greeted today by President Bush. I believe 9,000 people were on hand. It's only the second Pope ever to be greeted at the White House. And there's a reason for this, and that is that the United States had refused to recognize the Vatican until Pope John Paul II, because we believe in a separation of church and state. We don't believe in theocracies. And while we're railing against a theocracy in Iran, we're welcoming a theocracy and the head of a theocracy into the United States with a 21-gun salute. And if you look that up on Wikipedia, a 21-gun salute is known as a royal salute. So we are actually welcoming him as a king or a prince.